Your favorite narrator has returned with a part 2 to the Curse of Strahd campaign. Special thanks to my friend and his buddies for allowing me to make this series for you guys, as I enjoy doing this as much as you do watching it. Now, without further ado, I've got a story to tell that's better than the last. When we began exploring the basement, we discovered some pretty freaky stuff. We reached level 2, and everyone grew stronger. We thought that the massive increase of health, which isn't actually that big, being less than +8 more, would be helpful. Instead, it became a death flag for much stronger enemies to come in and laugh before they proceeded to flatten us like a pancake. The party spent some time trying to get open 4 locked boxes, but instead of letting the rogue, who was the most proficient at it, succeeding in opening one on the first try and obtaining an eye patch. However, the rogue already has one, so they simply pocketed it for later. The party tried to take the other 3 into their own hands, with mixed results. The bird bard failed, nearly breaking his talons trying to open the lock, while the elf struggled but succeeded to. The druid, which is actually a fox, struggled to open one box, but eventually succeeded, finding a bag made of human skin. Its discovery proceeded to scare the bird bard and my rogue. For a short time, the druid and the rogue played hot potato for the next few moments, as neither wanted the bag. Out of everyone, these two have perhaps the worst relationship. Finally taking the cake was the himbo dragonborn, who as usual was being an idiot. He tried swinging his axe to break open the metal chests, but missed twice. Eventually, he resorted to using actual lockpicks, succeeding where the axe had failed. The party then found a room with weird objects inside of it. The bird bard wanted to take a dagger sculpted from bones, while the elf bard found this cool-looking cloak. They then went exploring this large open room filled with water and a pedestal in the middle. This was where shit went down. The party spent the next half hour to hour in this room, not even doing anything. Once they got to the pedestal, a baker's dozen of strange men in cloaks wielding black torches appeared. Each party reacted in their own ways. The rogue proceeded to scream at the shadows before wanting to leave since there was nothing of value in the room. The elf bard tried seducing these men in black, but their non-reactions caused them to grow frustrated before joining in with the rogues yelling. The men in black were chanting "one must die," and the party actually took some time to think about who to sacrifice before going on with their craziness. The fox druid was attempting to touch the shadows and burn himself on their black flames, but grew frustrated when they felt nothing. They then started yelling to sacrifice the rogue, leading to a heated argument between both. But the real cake stealer was once again the himbo dragonborn, who was trying to swim through 2 feet deep water that was either shit, body fluids, blood, or even all 3 combined. They even drank some of it before proceeded to vomit into the water, adding to the nastiness. Meanwhile, the bird bard watched his party from the middle of the room, simply gazing around at people arguing. When the party tried to leave, a giant creature appeared from behind and took the party by surprise. A shambling mound. Immediately, it one-shot fox druid, pulling them into the mouth and knocking them unconscious. The party came back to try and save him, only for them to miss all their attacks while the mound knocked the party up like how your 2-year-old brother does to your Lego pieces. The mound also grabs the dragonborn and nearly kills both of the people in its mouth. The rogue attempts to help by pulling the druid out despite their hostility, but soon regrets it since the mound attacks them, one-shotting them completely. Thankfully, the rogue got straight back up with a nat 20 saving throw before dipping out the room. Eventually, through the use of healing spells, both the dragonborn and the druid escapes the mound's clutches, and the party escapes upstairs. When the house fills with black smoke, they proceed to dip, deciding that suffocating wasn't worth it. Evil plans failed to be thwarted. The party then leveled up to level 3, since the DM is working off a level system that progresses with the story rather than EXP. Despite these upgrades, the party still suffered in the future events of the session. The rogue developed a severe phobia of dying after the mound incident, and became extremely uncomfortable with coming close to death. In trying to protect others, they had nearly died. They would not forget that. The party rested before exploring the rest of the town inside the murder house. They encountered 2 homes with a bunch of zombies, deciding to dip before something could happen. The entire time, the bird bard was trying to convince the party to simply go, but they didn't listen. When they entered the 3rd home, they were assaulted by a group of rats. While they didn't necessarily cause too many issues, the rats became a nuisance, and it wasn't even worth it at the end of the day. The session ends here due to the tiredness of the players.